Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another week of the Vara and Virtue show. Wicked, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Still traveling, so sorry, chat. No cameras today.
How
Just got
could
to the
you let
hotel.
us down like this, Wicked? Oh my gosh.
I know. I don't want to hear any Ryan would never do this chat. Don't you dare.
Look, thank you, Ryan, for the raid.
Yeah, thanks.
Perfect timing for Wicked to throw shade at Ryan. I know Ryan was gone for 2 weeks, so how
Wow, that's a long
dare
time,
he?
right? Living it up in
Yeah,
Japan, scaring everybody with the happiness.
I know, but I thought he was gonna get trapped there, to be fair, so
There are worse
he
places to
didn't.
get stuck, though.
Yeah, that's true. But what have you been up to during your travels? You've been playing any like video games, watching anything? Like, I feel like that's kind of it's tough, right? Because you're tired from traveling, but also like that's the perfect time to use something like a Switch, and otherwise I would never get use out of a Switch that much. Because like I stream games with the Switch, but see, I don't go anywhere, so but that's how it's
Yeah.
marketed is like traveling.
Yeah, I wish that I would have brought it. I did not. So I haven't. I've just been helping my mom pack because, like, I just told Vera, I'm like, it's like an Olympic sport trying to get moms to get rid of stuff. So we had to get a storage unit, which wasn't normal. Like we weren't supposed to do that originally, and it just ended up taking like an extra day and a half. I was supposed to be home already. I'm like 5, 6 hours from home though, so I'll be home tomorrow. Yay!
That's good.
Um, but yeah, I haven't. I haven't been playing anything, but I can't wait to get home and get back to it. I'm excited. I still have to even finish Spider Noir, which I will because I have two episodes left, so that's I'm probably gonna binge both of them when I get home tomorrow. Like just forget it. I need to finish it.
It's
Maybe
so
tonight
good.
actually.
I
After the stream, I'll
mean,
watch one. Oh,
I'm
it
s-
is. I love it.
I'm just sad because there's no shot we're gonna get a follow-up to it. That's what makes it bad.
No,
It's not like the story, but with the budget, that's the problem.
that's what I was just gonna say. How much did it cost to make? Like it was ridiculous, wasn't
It
it?
was rumored to be $400 million.
Oof, that sounds like some Doctor Evil stuff. Four
Yeah,
hundred
like
million.
it's a good show. It really is. A lot of like the outfits and the sets were really high quality. And like, of course, there are a lot of actors who have these big names that it makes sense that they would like cost a chunk of change. But I don't see anything that would warrant that sort of price tag. I mean, that's getting to like Marvel's Avengers Endgame type of price. Like, you need the highest level of quality to warrant that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I didn't finish the last two episodes. Like the CGI was pretty good. Maybe I don't know because they had to do black, white, and color. I don't know if that cost extra because originally it was just
Yeah.
supposed to be black and white, and then Nick Cage was like the teenagers put it in color.
The kids, they need the color, which I I watched I was watching initially like back and forth because I'm gonna rewatch it, but the opposite episode, so the one that I had watched in black and white, I'm gonna watch in color, and the color I'm gonna watch in black and white, so that I've technically watched it twice in both, but I watched it like the one each episode, like going back and forth the first time around, just so that I could get a general feel for it. And man, like it, of course, I feel like the preferable way to watch it is in black and white, but in color, there are some scenes and like outfits that are just so gorgeous that I would be sad if I didn't see those in color at all. Like Kat Hardy's outfits, they looked gorgeous.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I did. That's another reason why it took me longer because I'm doing both. I think it looks better in the black and white. But you're right, like the girl that probably, but like her dress looks really nice in color.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But it also like the bar itself and like the stage pieces itself were so cool in the color. But I mean, obviously, like judging by what Nick Cage said and kind of the general atmosphere and feeling for it, black and white is just the best. Bam.
Yes,
Um,
and it is cool to like point out that in color, um, his webbing is still black and white, and it looked cool. So they did that.
Yeah, yes. I don't know. I hope it gets a follow-up. I will not give you any spoilers because in my opinion, like some of the best moments are in the last two episodes just because of the humor and you're gonna love those moments.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm curious to see like next week or the next time that we talk, like what your full-on thoughts are gonna be of it, just because those last two episodes really established how good I think that the show wraps up. Like sometimes shows will be really good until you get to the very end and then they'll completely drop the ball or it'll be very clear sequel bait and they'll leave like all of these questions up in the air to try to get you to take to social media and say you really want another season, but they didn't do that there.
Oh, okay. I can't, you know, I'm gonna watch at least one episode tonight. Like I have to wind down after the stream. Like even if I'm just like laying in bed on my phone, like watching it, I don't care. I've got to watch at least one more episode. I'll finish it this
Yes.
week. So next week we can do like a real review together on it, or well,
E-
next show.
Yes, the next show, but I'm giving her homework. I want to make sure that she, does her work and watches things because, I need someone to yap with the
Well, you know,
about these shows.
I'm okay with this. Give me homework. I'm enjoying the show so much. I will write you an essay, whatever you need.
Yeah, I recently had rewatched the they're so fucking good. But the Maguire Spider-Man movies and the
Oh,
Garfield one, like back to back, they're just so good because I watched
they
Noir and I was
are.
like, I need to binge all of these. And I'm not watching the Tom Holland ones. He's such a fucking dweeb loser. Ugh, he's not the same. If tomorrow I never had to hear about his Spider-Man again, I would be perfectly happy. Like I would be a normal, well-adjusted human being and individual. He's just not good.
No, admittedly, I was doom scrolling a bit the other night, and all these videos are being made of like Toby versus Tom, and it's like there's no
How?
comparison there, man. He crushed
Yeah,
it.
no.
Toby and Tom just they're complete. It's like comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
but there's did you? I don't remember if we talked about this, but did you catch that in Spider-Man 3, the box that the Venom suit is in? That's the same box that is in Spider Noir that he has his outfit in. Did you catch that? It's the same exact
Oh, I didn't think of
replica, but it
that.
is.
Yeah. That
That's
is really
cool.
cool. See, I love
Yeah,
small
yeah.
details like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll dive into it soon, guys. Don't worry.
True. It's always nice to watch good Spider-Man projects instead of like the Spider-Man 2 video game that was
Uh,
just horrific. My
I
God.
wanna I wanna play the one, like the one for I think it was I might have it. It's like for 64, I think. Where she's like the pain. I can't like when she gets hit by like a car or something, like one of the like NPCs. And he's just like standing
I don't
there.
know what game that is.
I have to look it up. I think it's either like Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64. It's really old. I see the clip like once in a while and it's so funny.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I do know the meme that you're talking about. Yeah, it's from Spider-Man 2. Yeah, the pain, make it stop. Yes, because I was just looking it
Yes,
up
yes,
and then
that.
I saw the lady. It's just like PTSD flashbacks to the war, like having to deal with characters like that. But yeah, man, video games have their graphical quality has gone up a little bit because a game like that I when I was a kid I would have been like, "Oh my God, this is literally real life. This looks so realistic. This looks so good." It's too funny though. But yeah, we'll talk about Spider Noir next week, guys, when she's finished it. It is very good though, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Yes.
All right, really quickly, we'll read these super chats. Schick, thank you for the 199 Megatron Chuds. And thank you for the second 199. Hope you're well, safe on your escape from New York trip.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that it's happening now. New York has,
Yes.
I mean, it's
Oh.
been falling apart for years, but it's good that, You're getting out of there now as quickly as possible, and mama is going to be somewhere safer and just more well adjusted, that's for sure.
Yes, absolutely. It's gonna take some time getting used to, but it's I've been here for like in Florida 4 years now, and I don't regret it at all. So she'll get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever heard good things about Florida. I mean, obviously, there's downsides everywhere where you could move or everywhere that you could live, but I've generally heard pretty positive things.
I like it.
Yeah. And Cajun Corey, thank you for the five. A woman drops her dress off at the laundromat. The attendant said, "Thank you, come again." She replied, "No mayo this time."
Well, you're not getting me with that one, Corey.
Now,
You know
that
what would have been real
is
funny if
what
Bilbo would have got up and left again. Last week, Bilbo got up and left the
he
first
should
joke.
have. Yeah, he was not amused last week. That was Listen, Bilbo deals with some bad jokes, but that one was pretty. I don't even remember what it was, but he did ditch. He did not want to deal with that. That's for sure.
Nice try,
Drunk
but
wants to know, did you watch the He-Man movie?
I didn't see it yet. He knows I'm traveling. He's upset
Come
that he
on,
says I hate
Wicked.
it.
It
I know I'm the
doesn't
worst.
matter.
I did
I
see
liked it.
Backrooms. Yeah,
Oh, did you?
I did.
What did you
I
think of
liked
it?
I liked it, but I can totally understand why if people don't know the lore, they're a little bit confused with it. It was
Yeah.
made for the fans, so it's like I just tell people, I'm like, you know what? If you didn't like it or it confused you, whatever, just know that fans of that lore were very happy. So it was
And
fan service.
and that's all that matters because I
Yes.
know for me, like I know the basics and the generals of like the backrooms. I'm not some massive fan, so there were definitely parts where I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I still appreciated that so many people that are fans did like it. It kind of reminded me of the Five Nights at Freddy's situation where the journalists were so mad that it was a movie made for the fans. Like, just because you're not a fan of something doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. It's supposed to be for the people that either have dedicated a lot of time into like fan theories or piecing storylines together. And like sometimes things are not supposed to just be dumbed down for normal moviegoers. And it's great that it isn't.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely agree. Speaking of movies, did you see Obsession yet? I haven't seen
I
it, but I've heard. I
did.
think we might have already talked about it, and I might have forgot because I'm just like
Yes.
in another universe right now.
It's okay.
You loved it, right?
I did. I thought that it was really good. I thought that it was pretty unique. It does remind me a lot of a Twilight Zone episode called The
Mhm.
Chaser. It's kind of a similar story. But it's a good movie. And
Okay.
I'm really happy to see that films like Backrooms and also Obsession were able to beat out Mango and Grok. Like I thought that that was truly phenomenal. Chef's
That is
kiss.
Yeah, that is insane. And the YouTube directors are coming up, man. They're
Yeah.
topping the charts right now, and that's I love to see it. We'll maybe eventually we'll do a obsession review too because you really like that, and
Yes.
we've kind of been slacking on the reviews. You need some more movies up on your channel too, so
Yes.
we'll add that to the list.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks we'll just do like a bunch of reviews all at once.
I think what we'll do is we'll do Spider Noir and Obsessions on your the next time we're on your channel. That
Yeah,
also
and then
makes
the
it
time
easier for you to just click it out,
after,
you know?
if like anything else had come out, or if you've seen He-Man, because He-Man was actually pretty good. I I thought it was gonna
Yeah,
be
I will.
really bad, but it was solid.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've heard honestly nothing but good things really. You know, like if you got like two people that don't like it, I don't really count that like as mixed. Everybody else I've seen like seen it that like really liked it. So when I get back home, that's probably the first movie I'm gonna see. Because you know what? I wanted to see Scary Movie, but like the reviews are like I think I should wait for streaming.
Yeah,
Did you watch
definitely.
it?
Wait, which movie?
Scary Movie. What is it,
Oh no,
six, seven,
I
whatever it
haven't
was?
seen that yet. But
Yeah.
I've been following the reviews. I don't know, I don't get it. And maybe it's just people that didn't like care about scary movie previously, but I've heard people say that they either love it or they hate it, and maybe that's just some of the jokes that they make. But I've been really excited for it, and I know we've talked about it so many times, so we'll definitely have to watch that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do. I want to see it, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it like a theater experience. It might go to digital fast, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if they've said when it's going to digital. Let me see if it says it does not have one yet. So
Okay.
it'll probably, because it's Paramount, so usually they're 30 to 45 days. So it'd probably be in like a month.
Okay. Well, I'll probably see it then, but I want to do He-Man and Obsession first.
Yes, for sure. Corey, thank you for the 5. I just bought a Humpty Dumpty toy from Aldi. It even came with Aldi King's horses and Aldi King's men. Corey,
Corey.
Corey. No, no, these are, it's not your best day. No, no, no. This is the type of
No,
joke that I
Corey.
need to get off the screen as quickly as possible because I know that I will laugh. I
Because
know
the
that
more
I
you look at it, the
will.
funnier it
Yep,
gets.
the more I look at it, the more I play it back in my head. God.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm throwing
Corey.
tomatoes. That was a boo. But it's okay. A for effort, ultimately. She was close. No, no, I'm not gonna laugh. But okay, let's talk about. Oh God, there's so much that's happened over the past couple of days, especially with Summer Games Fest. I guess let's just talk about one of the games we're most excited for, Code Veronica or Resident Evil Veronica. So Capcom had confirmed that Veronica is coming out, is getting a remake. We know now that it is a third person game, and there are some other details on it, like it's being developed by the same team as the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 remakes, which were obviously the best of them. Capcom considers Veronica just as important as the number titles. Some things will be retuned, who knows what that means, modernized
Hmm.
gameplay, reimagined storylines, and vividly detailed graphics. Now, this right here, of course, whenever we hear remake, reboot, remaster, reimagine, resync, reinvented, and reimagined, it's an instant red flag, especially in this game. Now, have you ever played Code Veronica?
No, but I think since we have a year for this, I'm gonna play the OG first.
Wicked. I just have to tell you, have you ever seen like the early 2000s direct to DVD Barbie movies and like direct to DVD and VHS movies?
Yes.
That is, and there's going to be plenty of people in my audience that don't get it. That is the level of voice acting that we are talking about. I love it. I love it. It's campy. It's a little cringe at times. Some of the characters sound gay as fuck based on the voice actors they chose, but it's got a special place in my heart for me. But it kind of reminds me in a way of that voice acting. I think that it's just because a lot of the voice actors had a lot of fun. Um, but there's definitely some interesting voice acting that I'm curious to see if they're going to replicate in some jokes and dialogue that they could potentially uh bring into this. Obviously, you never really know, especially with Capcom, because in even, their remakes that have been really good, like 2 and 4, there's been elements that have either been toned down or slightly altered.
Yeah,
But
I'm excited to like finally play it. I think it's on Steam. I think this was one of the ones that they released of the originals. I'll have to look.
I think so. Let me
I just know
check.
this was like number one that people want um them to re-release remaster, so I'm very excited for that. We talked about this, we knew it, we were like they're probably going to announce it over the summer. We called it.
Yeah, I mean, I I think that it's kind of shocking though that they've announced it now because like we only really, I guess it was 4 months ago, but it feels like we had just gotten Resident Evil 9.
Yeah. Well, we're not getting it till next year, so
Yeah, I guess that's true. But you'd think that they'd want to announce it at like the game awards at the end of the year. But I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because it's not like we actually saw a shit ton of it. We didn't see like a bunch of gameplay or an extended look, so they could be saving it for that,
yeah,
which would make
that's true.
sense.
So look wise, I think Claire looks great. I think in the original the jeans aren't like great, but I mean it was of the time, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the way they made her look now looks really good. But there are a few people that are saying like, they removed some of the midriff. Why are they doing that? Like, it's not to me. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because I just think her overall new outfit looks better. It's updated.
I I kind of meant so I do like her character model look. I'm a big fan. I don't think that her outfit is bad, but I also still just I kind of miss her like her vest and like the short sleeves. So it does look it does look pretty different, but it's close to the
Yeah,
Resident Evil 2 remake sort of look that we had gotten.
yeah, it does. I was gonna say that looks exactly like what she has on in that. And this is
Yeah.
3 months after Resident Evil 2, the events of Resident Evil 2, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, it does. I see
How
it right there. It takes place only 3 months
Oh,
after
okay,
RE2.
yeah.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
just gonna yeah, I was just gonna look it up, but I mean, she isn't like some seasoned veteran yet. We're not gonna see her kicking down doors and punching boulders and handing poor, sad, depressed feels like 4 foot tall women requiems. Like she's not some badass Chad, the way that, someone like Leon is. But man, I am very, very excited for this. I just truly hope that it ends up being a really faithful remake, because if they release this and it's not good and it's not solid, they are going to face such an insane amount of backlash. I mean, with things like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 and 4 remakes, right? There was a certain level of backlash just to small things. But if they ruin anything in this, they are going to be raked across the coals.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Because people have been asking for this for so long. And three, I know I'm gonna play the OG three probably like next after I finish. I'm doing the remake of two right now. Second playthrough. But I want to see the OG three because people were like, they really watered down Jill's story in the remake, is what everyone's telling me. And
yeah.
people were upset about that.
Yeah, and somebody just said asked in chat, why the hell would it not be good? The problem and why it might not be good is this right here, reimagined storylines. They're already using the word reimagine for the story. And if the story drastically changes, right? Of course, the gameplay is going to be like RE2 and RE4, and that's going to be solid and like modernized gameplay, whatnot. But the in my opinion, obviously this is with most games, but the soul lies in the story and the characters and their growth. And I think that again, Code Veronica's a little bit special in terms of the way that some of the characters act and some of the dialogue that's in it. But yeah, I have my fingers crossed. Like I would hate to see them like damage this at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I feel like they'll do a good job with it. Maybe the reimagined storyline is exactly like what you were talking about, that certain things might not work now. Like the campy stuff might not be as appreciated in the modern gaming times. I don't know.
Yeah,
So hopefully that's all they're doing is maybe just like updating some stuff a little bit and not completely rearranging the story. Because if they do that, people will be upset. The reason I have faith is because like if they're smart, they're look at how great nine did. The people love two remake, people love four remake, and it's the people that worked on that. Three, I still think it was an overall good game, but because they messed with the story, people were upset. So if they're paying attention, they're not going to do that with this.
Yes, definitely. So I I'm very I'm very excited. I
Me
really want
too.
this to be good. Of course, though, Resident Evil is one of my favorite series. One of your favorite series too, so it makes sense why we're just so freaking hyped for it.
But also a little bit
Fingers
cautious.
Yeah, always be cautiously optimistic when it comes to remakes and remasters and reboots. And speaking of a remake, we also had gotten the announcement for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time being reborn on the Switch 2 in 2026. Now, I I cannot believe how much you had Nintendo fucking trolling at this event. 95% of it felt like was either ports or games nobody asked for. And sure, there were a couple of good announcements in there, not enough, that's for sure. But the Ocarina of Time announcement wasn't shocking because there was, the rumor circulating a couple of months back. Um, I again, I'm excited. Ocarina is a phenomenal game, and I hope that this turns out to be good as well. But my major worry with this is the person who had released this report and sort of leaked that this was going to be coming out was also the person who had leaked that Star Fox 64 remake was in development. We know that that's confirmed now. So he's been right on a lot of things, but he was also the same person that said that this was going to be split into two games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I do
Yeah.
know that people are pretty hyped for this though. Like people are like, you really are gonna make me buy a Switch too. Like, so I guess this is gonna get a couple people. They just raised prices though, so sorry to
Yeah,
anyone that has
that's
to get that
really
now.
bad. That's really, really bad timing for fans.
Yeah, but like they didn't do it on purpose. They're like, oh, let's raise the price and then release a game that we know a lot of people are gonna want.
Yeah, pretty scummy, but I it's very similar to like the Final Fantasy VII remakes. We've gotten three parts of a remake for one game, and they've made them game length games, even though it should technically have just been one game, instead of three separate entries. And Ocarina, I'm sure that there's things that they could add and there's things that they could expand upon, but my God, splitting it into two, that is, if that is true, and of course, take it with a grain of salt, but this person does have a pretty good track record recently, that would piss so many people off. It really would. And so,
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. I was talking. I'm like, oh,
oh
I
no,
was
you're
muted.
fine.
But you're right, it would. It would really make people mad.
Yeah. Like there's already people in chat saying if they split it into two, there's no way that I would buy it. I I agree, right? I would have initially said there was no way they would split it, but they know that people would buy both parts. People like me and Wicked, and I'm sure plenty of you that have all that love and nostalgia for Ocarina and have a Switch too, they know that you're gonna buy it, and so they know that they can try to get as much money as possible from people for one game. And the longer they can stretch one game's freaking existence, the longer that they can, I don't know, I guess ultimately, like, sort of take, I don't like spread out the content. And oh, instead of just having one game to bank on for 3 years, well, they can have two games, part one and part two, that they can bank on for 6 years.
And they also announced the next Kingdom Hearts game, right? I missed. I'm
Yes.
behind on everything,
Yes.
and it's the Switch. It wasn't PlayStation that announced it. It was Nintendo.
Yes, it was Nintendo, which was also pretty shocking that like it wasn't PlayStation. I've I didn't think that the like state of play was bad, but it was it seems like Sony has lost a lot of their Asian partnerships and like marketing deals, and people have been calling that out. I had also like made a video on that. But you had games like Stellar Blade. They previously were able to market Stellar Blade on the PlayStation. They had, of course, recently announced Stellar Blade 2 or Stellar Blade Blood Rain, which has been received very positively, but that isn't Sony that's now able to market that and like bank on that and show that off like exclusively. You had Kingdom Hearts. Everyone was pretty shocked when it turned up at the Nintendo event instead of it being at the Sony event. And so, I mean, PlayStation has games, but when you're banking on, Mom of War, or I was shocked that they didn't show Intergalactic, and like those are the titles that they're banking on for the next several years. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you are losing.
Yeah, I was super I guess I always thought that Kingdom Hearts was like an exclusive for PlayStation, but it's not. I mean, I know it's not, but it just, you always think that way, like it releases with them first. Like it's, maybe they used to.
Right. So the Kingdom Hearts series is not a PlayStation exclusive, but people had, like really, really connected the two or like put the two together. And there were games that had started out on PlayStation, though now they're just starting, it seems, multi-platform. So yeah, like
Oh,
it's not a good look for PlayStation though.
no, not at all.
I
Oh, hey, I got
mean,
gifted a membership.
hey Raider, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Wicked, say thank you or you're literally banned. I'll ban you from this podcast.
Thank you, Raider.
Thank you. Much appreciated in chat. You also have to say thank you. But yeah, I mean, I think my issue with the Ocarina announcement was just that I think that the tapestry looks sick. I love tapestry announcements, but come on, man, I want to see more than 2 seconds of it. I want to see the actual game, especially if it's gonna be releasing in 2026.
Yeah, I hate that, especially when, like you said, it's releasing this year and they're showing no gameplay. They're showing us a little trailer. Like, we gameplay, please. That might help. I mean, obviously people are hyped for it. It worked, but give us something.
Yeah, I don't know when they're gonna release this though. Like maybe I was thinking maybe they'll launch it at the end of November because obviously November has no games releasing in it except for GTA 6. Um, so maybe they would wait till the end of November because I would assume, right, they want to have Ocarina on the market in order to sell Switches. Maybe there will be Ocarina like special Switches and Switch bundles and things like that. So like you'd think that they'd want to release that as soon as possible, and maybe they initially were hoping to release it in early November, but they're not now because GTA and like I know a lot of companies were thinking, oh, maybe Rockstar will move it, maybe Rockstar will move it. They do actually have the chance to do like the funniest thing possible and be hilarious and screw over everybody in this industry because there's so many games releasing in September now and October, but I just find it rough to get super excited when I'm not seeing gameplay. And yeah, it's not like we don't know what this is. I mean, I'd assume they're not completely redoing the gameplay to be something wildly different and massively different, but it'd be nice to actually see it.
Yes, I mean, call us crazy, but if you want us to buy a game, maybe show us a bit of the gameplay. I don't know. What do I know?
Yeah, but it is true, Mr. Kevin. I'm sure that they'll do a whole direct, though maybe they should have announced when that direct was going to be yesterday.
Yeah, that is a fair point. They will dedicate a whole direct to that most likely, but you're also correct that they should have, you know, said, okay, we're gonna do that instead of just like showing us that and like, all right, that's it, that's all you get.
Yeah. Funk for Days says unpopular opinion, but how is this Ocarina remake not slop? Well, that's a question, not an opinion. But you're saying that you think it's slop. For me, like I definitely am very cautious when it comes to remakes because there are so many remakes and remasters that are bad. Obviously, we don't know if it's going to be bad. I hope that it's not going to be bad. I don't see a world in which Nintendo makes a bad Ocarina remake, but I mean, I don't think across the board all remakes are slop or all remakes are bad. So
No, some of them are actually really good, and like for 64 games, there's a few that I would like to see possibly get a remake. Like I announced, I don't think Donkey Kong is getting a remake, but they're just releasing it on Switch too, right? The 64 Donkey Kong 64. Are they
yeah,
remaking it? No, right? They're just releasing
no,
it. Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Yeah, for online. Yeah, yeah. I'm
yeah.
excited.
Um,
Could you imagine if they remade that? Like that'd be a lot of work. That's a long
I
game.
don't know. I don't know what I would want a full remake for at this point. It's like I'm sure that there's a million games that I could come up with. Obviously, like I think the most notable for me would be things Nintendo specifically like Twilight Princess. I love Twilight Princess. I I don't know. I don't think it needs a remake. I just would like it to be on the Switch though, so like a re-release or something like that. But it's like other platforms. KOTOR. I love KOTOR. I'd love in theory a good remake, but I hate asking for remakes because when you ask for something, you're gonna get it, but you're gonna get the worst version of it possible. So
Speaking of KOTOR, that's high up on my listings again for that. That's going to be played very soon.
I know you've never played KOTOR. Oh my gosh, how can we
Nope.
even be friends?
Well, now I get to
It's
experience it, and you can be jealous that I get to experience it for the first time.
You suck. You're so stupid. How could you do this to me, Wicked? It's like I
Sorry.
you constantly see the memes like, "Oh, it's so sad that your memory got erased," and you're like, "Sad," and then it's you're able to experience all of these like movies and TV shows and video games again for the first time. I would kill in GTA a couple of people to be able to replay a few specific games, and KOTOR would definitely be one of them. So, hey, if the
Yeah.
option's ever given to me, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have too many
Well,
details on
coming
this
soon.
remake, so it's gonna be probably a while before we hear anything else about it. But yeah, I hope it's good. I'm hyped, but being
I think it
hyped
will be.
is always dangerous.
It's very true.
So
Cautiously hyped. We'll make a new phrase.
I don't want to be cautious anymore. I just want to be hyped. I just want to be excited. But
Me too. But actually, no, that's not true. You're negative. Remember, you don't play video games. You hate
oh,
everything. That's who you
right.
are.
Hold on. Let me get in character. I hate everything. Everything sucks and everything's awful. Ocarina of Time remake, slop, garbage, dog shit, Nintendo L. Nintendo doesn't know what gamers want.
There she is. You're welcome, chat.
Yep, that's me. Don't wear it out. Pepper, thank you for the 5. I noticed Nintendo and Sony both had a lot of multi-plat releases and fewer exclusives. I think a lot of studios are trying to get free of them. Yeah, I would agree because, when you release something on as many platforms as possible up front, you're no-brainer going to make more money. And sure, like I understand the argument that like, oh, if you space out your releases and let's say something is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but then it comes out on PC a year later, you could potentially get people to buy it a second time the year later. But I've never heard, except for like a very few games, like a GTA or like a Minecraft sized game. I feel like most gamers are not doing that, and they're just going to buy the one copy unless it becomes like a favorite of theirs. So, yeah, it's no shocker that, companies want to release on as many platforms as quickly as possible, especially when like games cost so much money and you need to make that money back as quickly as possible so you can greenlight another project and then go back to like putting that money into the next game. Because if you're spending like $500 million on something, you're not greenlighting a sequel unless the first one makes that money back and then some.
Yes, and then with some like games and probably more so movies and TV shows, if merch doesn't make money, sometimes it gets canceled. Like, you know what I mean? Because they things like this, they plan on like selling action figures and stuff, and if that doesn't go well, then they just can, even if it was like well perceived, you know? I hate that.
Yeah, definitely. And Pepper also says, I'm really glad Square's going wide release. Even the NOE, oh, new one, Resonance is all platforms. Yeah, I think that it's a smart move. I think that it's a good one. I think that it is also the safest option given the state of the industry, but at the same time, it's not like, platform exclusives are going away anytime soon. Also, we didn't see anything for Duskbloods. Except, okay, that's not necessarily true. We saw like a 30-second teaser for Duskbloods at the Switch event, at the Nintendo event, but we didn't actually see any legitimate gameplay or an extended look, which really pissed me off. And there's no shot that that should be a Switch 2 exclusive because it's gonna run like dog shit on the Switch 2.
You know, I don't understand that. Like, I get trying to get people hyped for something, maybe, but they do that a lot, like just showing little trailers and no gameplay. Gamers want the gameplay, but we wouldn't know anything
Yeah.
about that, especially not you.
Shit. I don't know anything about video games, but I'll never understand that either because sure, people will get excited for like 24 hours and then they're gonna stop talking about it. But if you're showing gameplay, I feel like those trailers have such a longer lifespan and those trailers will still circulate for so long because people are like talking about it more and debating about it more and talking about, oh, if it's a remake, if this change is good or if that change is good. But when you're literally just showing off a 2 seconds of a link on a bench, right? Or a link on his bed, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to get super excited for that. I'm just getting excited for the Ocarina of Time name because I remember how good the game was, not necessarily because I'm hyped because of what I saw.
Yeah, and like think about when you show a fighting game or a first person shooter game, when you show like actual gameplay and it's great, people get extra hyped. Like just show 10
Yeah.
seconds of it, right? Like show like Link fighting for 10, 15 seconds. People like, oh, there it is. It's really all it takes for people to get excited and happy.
You just need to accept that companies can do what they want. Okay, Wicked, you don't know anything about video games. You don't know
This is
anything
true.
about them.
This is true. I admit it. I'm a fraud, not a
Yep,
gamer.
a fraud and a faker.
Yes.
500-pound land whale, thank you for the £2. I will be playing the part of Zelda. I will also be playing the part of Zelda. But yeah, no, hey, listen, I was also kind of shocked that at the like Nintendo Switch Direct that we didn't see anything about the like 40th anniversary. All they did was
Mm.
show off Ocarina, which is cool, but I was surprised that we didn't see like I don't know, 5 minutes of upcoming Zelda projects, whether it is the remake or maybe even the movie or things like that. Like, that was a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised they didn't bring anything up with a movie. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they just don't have anything to show off, which I don't. I mean, I get that they probably don't want to shove that into just a random direct, but it'd be a good opportunity.
Well, you know what? Maybe because they probably are going to do a direct or something, just talking about the Ocarina of Time, remake coming out. So maybe during that, that's when they'll show us maybe some more sneak peeks on the movie.
Yeah,
It could.
maybe. I hope
Mm.
so because
I want to see more.
we need something and we need to see that something soon. So it is
Yes.
what it is. But moving away from video games for a few, let's talk about Supergirl. So this is a movie
Oh
that
boy.
we've obviously talked about at length already. I think it is going to be a controversial film. I think that it's very tough to try to sell a Supergirl movie when this character has like so many other comic book characters, been aimed at men, and then you push the men away from the movie. I don't really know how that's a smart move or a smart idea, but that's certainly what they've done. And now we're hearing that the Supergirl box office is set to open far below The Mandalorian and Grogu, which. You play stupid games, you
That's
win
embarrassing.
stupid prizes.
Uh-huh.
Like, my God, Supergirl should be an easy win, the same way that the first Star Wars movie in theaters in 7 years should be an easy win. That should make them a boatload of cash, and it didn't. I I can't see them doing another, Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That's for sure. And with Supergirl, I don't even really know why we decided to bank on Supergirl. I thought that that was always a strange move, but I don't know why you would bank on hiring an actress who's going into interviews and already saying the most cringe-worthy jackass statements possible. Like, she is hurting this movie, she's hurting her own career, she's hurting DC, like just a bad situation all around.
Yeah, they need to get these actors to sign like NDAs so they don't say stupid stuff in interviews. Like, just promote the movie, talk about the movie, and
Wait,
like
wait,
it should
talk
be
about the
simple.
movie. A movie? We're not here for the movie, Wicked. What do you mean we're here for the activism?
That's true. That's true. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm even talking about. I should just take that back.
But yeah, I mean, gosh, we're just hearing. I don't think that I've heard one good thing about this movie so far. Whether it's about the screenings, whether it's about interviews, whether it's even about the like casting or lead actress, like I there's nothing surrounding this that I would say is positive. And that's also a very bad sign. Like, I get that to play a character, you don't need to know everything about the character. But she hasn't even lied and been like, I love Supergirl. She's my favorite character of all time. People like her have completely moved past trying to say that and trying to claim that. And they've just moved into the making PR disaster type of statements. It's pretty, it's pretty
Yeah, because the
pathetic.
thing is, I was never like super into Supergirl because again, I mean, like she was targeted for men, right? But I know people really liked at least like the first season or two, or the first season of the Supergirl CW show. Um, and she played like she was a pretty, she was pretty first of all, and she was like sweet, and she was a hero. And I don't know who this is aimed at. Like if they're trying to say, oh, it's for Gen Z, like Gen Z doesn't like from what I've seen the statistics and stuff, they don't go to bars and they don't go to clubs and stuff. They're not like heavy drinkers. So like who is this for? I have no idea.
Well, right. And it's like when you have a female character, you need to, yes, in a way, make that character to a certain extent interesting to younger females. But the only way that they are trying to get younger females to connect to Supergirl is, oh, she's a party girl. And if this is something that is only in, I don't know, the first half hour of the movie, and then she starts to grow the fuck up and she goes through the hero's journey, right? I could go, okay, this is interesting, this is neat, you know what, sure, she's growing in this movie. But the issue is that female characters do not grow anymore. Female characters do not have these long special storylines and story arcs, and they don't evolve. And so that's why I am instantly like, yeah, I don't have much interest in this as a woman who has loved comics, who has liked Supergirl, and who even liked Millie Alcock. She was good in House of the Dragon. She was one of the best parts of season 1, and she does deserve the credit for that. But oh god, it's just I feel like maybe they told her to play into it. Maybe behind the scenes they were like, just go out there and speak your truth, Queen Slay. Maybe they just told her to say whatever the hell she felt like, but that doesn't seem like a good business decision. So, I don't
No,
know.
not at all. But they're probably like, any publicity is good publicity. Maybe.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get that. I'll never understand that mentality, but
No.
it says, according to a new report from Deadline, Supergirl is currently tracking for a 55 million plus domestic opening weekend when it arrives in theaters on June 26th. That's well below The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is currently floundering at the box office with a similar production budget. Under normal circumstances, a 55 million debut would not necessarily be disastrous, but context matters, and that's where the concern begins. James Gunn's DC Universe was supposed to build momentum following Superman, a film which opened to a 125 million domestic haul. Instead, Supergirl appears to be opening below expectations despite carrying a budget and marketing campaign that place enormous pressure on the film's theatrical performance. Like, from what we've heard, they have put a very comparable amount of money into this that they did Superman. Why the hell would you ever do that? Like, if Superman makes $600 million, you should expect this shit to be making 350 maximum. You could never, ever expect a Supergirl movie to do just as good or better than Superman. And we don't know what the marketing is for this, but the production budget is not even that far off. The production budget for this was 180 million and Superman's was 230. So that's not wildly different. So that means that they are expecting this to do a little bit worse than Superman, but still probably like $500 million because Superman made a little bit over 600 million.
Oof. Yeah, and the thing with what she's doing is, I remember hearing a few people that were like not that weren't fans really of Superman, but when they were doing like the marketing, they were like, "Oh, it's kind of like I kind of like the actors at least, right? Like I'm not gonna like their characters, I don't think, but like the personalities, right? Of like David and Rachel and everybody were like they got along well. Her personality right now is making people not like her, just like Rachel Zegler. I mean, she's only made that one comment so far, but it's not a good one. Um,
Well,
so that's
yeah,
already hurting
like
the film there.
yeah, like how could you possibly like somebody who basically says, screw you if you are the traditional audience for a movie and a character fan base? Like, why the hell would you ever think that's smart? And, Pepper also says that Supergirl was never popular with women, particularly. It was men keeping it going in the 80s and 90s. They're pandering to an audience that doesn't exist. Right. And, like, me, for example, I like Supergirl. I think that she's fine, but I would choose like a million other characters to get a movie over Supergirl. And that's just the way that the world works. And I don't even think that this movie could have been propped up only by men with everything that surrounded this. Superman again, it did good. It didn't do amazing. It didn't do phenomenal. It didn't do amazing, but it still did good enough. I don't think that you could ever expect every single member of that audience though to show up for Supergirl, and by marketing it heavily on platforms like TikTok and trying to have a young, relatable character or actress playing this character, I don't think that that's a smart move either. She's not she's not helping when this movie needs literally as much help as it can get at this point. But
They
it
should make
also,
the
oh
Oh
yeah,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
no,
Go ahead. I was
you're good.
just
I
gonna
was just
say
gonna keep reading. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just gonna throw in they should make the marketing fun like they did with He-Man, right? Like I know that's not doing great at the box office, but everyone that's seen it is really enjoying it, and that's like kind of the vibe they should be doing for Supergirl. Like making the dads mad is kind of silly because that's who's gonna take the kids to see it. So
Yeah, well, it's like the He-Man marketing. They've gone on, like, the actors have gone on to some like late night shows and done like little videos, but like embracing meme culture, which I think is very smart if you want to try to appeal to a younger audience, because it's much easier to show memes that a younger individual might have seen before instead of trying to explain to them 40 years of a character's comic book history or 50 years of a comic book character's history. If you're trying to explain a character to the point where, oh yeah, you can go and see this movie and kind of understand what is happening with it. Like, sure, it's not like they're it's not like it's a 20-hour movie, right, where you need to know everything about Supergirl to enjoy it, but you need to try to make things as like quickly consumed as possible for the brain rotted kids that they're trying to market this to.
Yeah,
And so the
unfortunately.
memes work.
They do. They do. And some of it's fine. Like the Heat Man stuff, like the hey, what's going on? I remember that came out and like broke me. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. Like it was a while ago. But the like leaning into stuff like that, it's playful and it's fun. And yeah, like you said, it's gonna get the TikTok kiddies in there.
Yeah, probably. Probably a couple of them. I also think that if anybody working on a superhero project had half of a brain and the marketing, I don't know, team, I'd assume it's a bunch of people that were doing the marketing, had half a brain and you had an actress that would have half a brain, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I would be putting her in the most revealing, sexy superhero, Supergirl outfits possible. I would be banking on the fucking eye candy. Not that she's particularly a lot of eye candy or that she has a lot to offer to this audience, but I still think that sexy sells. And I still think if you had Millie Alcock doing 15 shorts of her in different Supergirl costumes and outfits, and they were showing a little bit of skin, yeah, I think that might get a few more men interested in this movie than they were 5 minutes ago. So,
Yeah, and at least it'd be
yeah.
like if they didn't love what they see, and they'd be like, at least they're trying, right?
Yeah, but apparently marketing movies with what the audience actually wants is bad now, and it's a no-go. But it says a 55 million opening is not what DC needs. The fact that it's tracking for 55 million plus domestic is horrendous. It says Deadline framed the projection as a positive early indicator, but a 55 million opening would put Supergirl much closer to recent comic book disappointments than genuine blockbuster success. Long range tracking from Box Office Theory had previously estimated an opening range between 47 million and 65 million, with the domestic finish somewhere between 107 million and 181 million. Even if Supergirl lands at the top end of those projections, it would still be opening significantly below Gunn's Superman, which debuted to 125 million domestically before finishing with roughly 619 million worldwide. Warner Brothers is asking audiences to believe that Supergirl can succeed where Superman struggled, but if Ted Sarandos was correct when he testified that Superman underperformed theatrically, then a 55 million opening for Supergirl would set off alarm bells throughout the industry. And yeah, we know that the media will constantly try to like cope over numbers and be like, no, you guys just don't understand, you're all plebs, which I think is so funny because we have the same information that they have basically. And when they go and they write articles saying that we don't know, even though all it takes is 5 minutes of a Google search and like a little bit of information, I think that it's so pathetic. But I think anybody with half a brain can see that a 55 million domestic opening isn't going to be good when they are putting hundreds of millions of dollars into it. Like if Superman having a 230 million budget and making 600 million dollars wasn't good enough, then how the actual fuck is a movie with a 180 million budget opening to 55 domestic going to be seen as a win? There's no possible way that anybody with half a brain could see that and
That
go, wow,
line
that's
is
good.
It's just crazy to me that they're like they want Supergirl to succeed where Superman struggled. Like how like even if Superman did better than it did, that's just not there's no universe where Supergirl is going to do better than Superman and like anything. TV shows, movies, merchandise, comics, none of it.
Yeah. It's it's just it is very like depressing in a way that a movie that in theory could be interesting is being dragged down so much because of tired old narratives that, oh my gosh, all of the men in the audience are evil, and then a woman being a raging feminist, and then the story not being super solid. Like, Supergirl could be a win, but there's no possible way that it can be just based on the the statements that have been made and the marketing material. And Supergirl interest drops after star Millie Alcott claims it's okay to piss off the right people, aka the people that she simply doesn't like. It shouldn't be okay to piss people off intentionally when there's hundreds of millions of dollars being put behind these projects. And I don't like to say people should be like blacklisted from an industry, because I think that the market is going to speak for itself and people just will not show up to watch this content if it doesn't look interesting. But there's got to be a point where these companies say, all right, you know what? Enough is enough.
Yeah, it's like they shouldn't want. That's why I think like these actors should have to have like NDAs or something, because you shouldn't want them to mess with your money at all. Just talk about the film. Just promote what you're doing in the film. Who cares who you do or don't want to come see it? That's just so ridiculous. And especially that she like just specifically decided to come at like dads. All right,
Yeah.
well, if you don't want them to come bring their kids to the movie, then all right.
Yeah, it's hey, listen, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna do very well. And as a woman who is usually pretty interested in superhero themed projects, all I can really say is it sucks to fucking suck, and you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Maybe don't be a loser and don't attack your audience, and your audience will actually want to show up and support you. But I don't think I don't think that this is going to make a lot of money. I think that it's probably, if I had to make a guess, I think that it will probably end a box office run at like 400 million maximum, maybe 450 if I'm really, really pushing it and being rainbows and sunshine and being stupid as hell.
Yeah, I just removing like any comments that she had or like any issues with how she looks in the movie. I just don't see like nothing about it really interests me.
Yeah.
And I just have no idea who the target audience is for this movie. Like I knew who the target audience was for Superman. Like, it's a comic book guy. You know what I mean? But like with this, I
Yeah.
just I don't know.
All I know is they hate everybody who isn't them and who doesn't push their politics. And that's probably all that we really need to know, is this isn't a movie for us, and that's all right. You know what? You keep making movies that aren't for me, and I'll just continue to not give you money for those movies that are not made for me. And
It's
I
all right.
think
We'll
that
just
that's
go watch the Obsessions and the Backrooms movies that come out. I'm okay with that.
whew, and watching the seething happening because movies that are made on $1 million budget are doing insane at the box office.
Yeah, I love to see it.
You'll love to see it. But really quickly, Ian, thank you for the 50
Yay.
pounds. Millie Alcock wouldn't be interesting if you pasted the encyclopedia onto her.
I love how he also wrote that
No.
it took him forever he had to keep rewording that for it to go through. So I don't wonder what the original draft was of the super
I
chat.
mean, it could just be her name, Millie Alcock.
Oh,
I
maybe. I didn't even
mean,
think about
I
that.
mean, that would be my logical deduction. But yeah, I don't think that Ian, yeah, he didn't say exactly like what he kept having to reword on it, but that's what I would figure next time. Maybe just say MA or Millie. But thank you for the 50 pounds. Much appreciated. Very grateful. Shane, thank you for the €5. If you are seeing this, you have received my super chat.
Ah, they let
See,
Shane out of the Matrix.
Well,
Good.
I can see, but I'm illiterate and I don't know how to read. So, that is
Oh,
the hurdle that I have to cross. But thank you for the 5. I feel like everybody's getting either shadow banned or super chats. Like you can't use certain words and stupid platform. I mean,
yes.
I love you, YouTube. Don't ban me. You're a great platform. You're awesome. But also, YouTube does kind of fucking suck.
Yeah, it's agreed. I'll be
Yeah.
nice. I don't want to add to it and get you in trouble.
Wicked's like, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
your channel banned because it's not mine, so I don't have to worry about it.
No, 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 no.
uh,
Oh, look at
uh,
Ian Bilbo left. Bilbo was like, I'm out of here.
yeah, Bill was like, shit, I need the treat money, so I do not want to be part of this conversation. I'm not getting banned off this platform. Retro, thank you for the 10 evening, ladies. I stand by my previous statement from last year that Supergirl will be Captain Marvel 2.0. This movie won't make it to 3 mil, but at least 2.5 or less. Not even Jason Momoa will save it. Well, keep in mind that, like, when you say Captain Marvel 2.0, do you mean the Marvels? Because Captain Marvel 1 had made $1 billion. Captain Marvel 1 did do good, but I think it's just because people were willing to give a female superhero a chance, and Brie Larson really did, I think, do some insane damage to female superheroes that hadn't happened before, because like Wonder Woman, that did really great. Even Captain Marvel 1 did really good. But
Yeah, we forgot Wonder Woman, like Gal Gadot. We forgot, like, we didn't notice that she couldn't act. We liked the movie so much. We didn't even notice.
Kal-El, no.
Yeah,
I thought that the first movie was pretty good,
I
but
liked it.
Wonder Woman 1984
We don't want to talk.
was.
We don't talk about that.
And that was a double whammy, too, because not only could she not act in that, but it was written so shittily, though you also had Pedro Pascal in that.
Hmm. Yeah, that doesn't add anything to it. And
Yeah.
just while we were on the topic of the like Captain Marvel, I didn't see any of her stuff. I only seen her in the was it Endgame.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I just had no
Um,
like desire. They don't. They're not writing these. Like I loved Black Widow. I wanted a real Black Widow movie before Captain Marvel. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. We
yeah,
should
that
have had
really
a
upset me,
Hawkeye.
too.
We should have had a Hawkeye and Black Widow movie well before that. Like it could have centered around Black Widow, but
We
like them, like the
needed
little side missions that they've done, like that would have been so good. I would have loved it.
Yes, we really needed the normie Avengers, the ones that were stupid fucking losers with like bow and arrows and haha, I have a grenade. We just needed the normie Avengers. We didn't need the Doctor Stranges and the Thors and the Iron Mans and stuff. Like I always meme on Hawkeye. I'm never impressed with Hawkeye. If I could sacrifice Hawkeye, I would. He'd be out of here. No love in my heart for him. And yes, I love Green
Oh,
Arrow. So maybe
okay.
maybe
That's why a little
I'm not
biased.
the most inconsistent person here, but yeah, Black Widow is a cool character. Though what they did to her in the Black Widow movie was
You
it was
mean
rough.
uh Yelena movie?
Uh,
Uh
apparently, like, they really want to bank on her going forward. Why the fuck would they ever want to do that?
I don't know.
I
I
just
don't.
had read something about her being like a big part of, let me see if I can find it, of Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like she's like the main female now. Who the fuck asked for that? Why would you like ever try to do that? What does she actually do that's special besides have some stupid fucking surfer boy haircut and some badly padded armor? What? What makes her special?
You know what is sad about that is that Florence Pugh actually was kind of like pretty, and then she was like, "Oh no, we can't have that." And then she got like the nose, that full nose ring, and chopped her hair off and started just dressing weird. It's like, okay, well, if that's what you're gonna go with,
Yeah. She was good in like she was in what was it? Little Women. She was in there was like another period piece that she was also good in. Like when she's not clearly trying to play up a role for an audience, like she's a good actor. Oh, the that Harry Styles
Oh,
movie.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling. Yeah, she did a good job. I would even go as far as to say she did a great job in
She
that.
did. The movie just sucked because they didn't know where they were going with the storyline. But which I was so disappointed in that movie because I loved the trailer and I was like, "Ooh, this looks like really interesting."
Yeah.
And then they just like fumbled that one. But I do agree that she did a good job in the role.
Yeah, also Dune, definitely, but yeah, I think it's very fascinating to see the like normal actress to total feminist bitch Marvel pipeline. Like if you are going to be in a Marvel movie, like I would end up being fucking woke by the end of that Marvel movie because look at what happens to all these other actresses. They're normal people and good actresses, and then it's like, nope, suddenly I could throw all that out the window. Maybe they feel like they can do whatever they want. Maybe they're being coached to talk that way and act that way, but yeah, it's red
I
flag.
don't know anymore because at this point, you kind of feel like maybe that is it, right? Because why do they let them just like come out and say stupid stuff like that to like sway people from going to see the movie because they don't like the way those people think or like their views? It's so silly to me. It never used to be like that. It's like you make a movie because you want people to come see it. Who cares if you have different viewpoints on the world? It's
Right.
just so stupid to me.
I think that that is always so wild. Like, why would I okay. So I should, in theory, not care about somebody's political leaning because they should be able to leave their politics and their activism at the door when they're going to work, but they don't. And so that's the issue. I shouldn't, in theory, I shouldn't give a fuck who's making my video games, but it's all they have going for them. Now, it's the only reason why they got hired was because of their skin color, their gender, their sexuality, or their politics. And so it makes it into their work. And like, that's disheartening. So it
Yes.
does matter, but it shouldn't because they should just be able
No.
to shut up and make good content.
That's all we want. We can't. They can't all be Ryan Goslings, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Ian, thank you for the 50 pounds.
Hey.
Alcock goes through fine. That's what she said. My first few drafts were much more Scottish. I
All
um
right.
I really want to know what the first few drafts were though then. Like all you've
Yes.
done now is make me even more interested in knowing what YouTube was censoring. But
Now Vera's given Ian homework. Send me your
yep.
first drafts, please.
I need the rough drafts, yes.
Yeah.
Von Douche, thank you for the 5. They did Widow's actress dirty. Give her a film just to use it as a handoff to whatever the new one is named.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh, that
would
made me so
agree.
upset. I because even before, like we knew we were getting this Black Widow movie, when they announced Captain Marvel, my first thought was, okay, but where's our Black Widow movie?
Yeah.
She should have been the first female Marvel from the MCU to get a movie.
It was too many years too late.
Yeah, because they're lazy, they
And
dropped the ball, and they're stupid.
yep. And then it was just bad. So sucks. Return to us, Bilby. I don't know where he went. He did abandon us though.
He went for the treats, or he's going to look for Yoshi to beat him up.
He's been a little suspicious of that stupid green guy. He kind of gives him like the side eye and like walks in like a wide circle around him or around the table or like wherever I end up putting Yoshi. So like he's pretty skeptical of that stupid little dinosaur.
And Chick, I hate that I actually read that in my head singing it.
Read what?
Should I stay or should I
Oh.
Bilbo? Thanks.
I didn't see it at first. That is pretty funny. And Chick, thank you for the 199. Drunk 3PO supports Alcock. I bet he
Jay's not even here.
does. I'm gonna bring up that fucking image that pisses Jay off a lot. The TV image. I have
She's
to
got it saved.
blackmail him. I
You'll
don't, but
summon
it only
him.
takes 2 seconds to find, and that's what makes it so great is the internet is forever. And whenever you need to find something on the internet, you can. So I do I do love that. Also, is that your Minas Tirith in the background or another Lord of the Rings Lego set? I don't have my Minas Tirith yet because they didn't, so went instantly to back order on the web page. So it's back ordered for 60 days, but I was going to go to the store and get it, but they didn't have any of the free gift. And if I'm going to spend uh $650, which really is like $690 on a Lego set after tax. Of course, I want the free gift. Like, girl math, nerd math, that basically makes that fucking Lego set way cheaper in theory because it's an exclusive gift. So, I don't have the Minas Tirith set yet. This one, so that's Sauron's helmet. That's like a mini set, and then the one that's like right there is Baradur. So, yeah.
She gets so excited talking about her Lord of the Rings stuff.
I'm special, okay? I'm special. It's my special hobby
It's
and my
okay.
special interest. Don't make fun of me.
Listen, if there was like Buffy Legos, I'd be like, well, this is from season 1, episode 2. Like, it'd be
Yeah.
the same. I
I'm
like it. It's cute.
almost at 3 Lord of the Rings shelves because my Lord of the Rings
Wow.
shelves over here are like they're stacked. They're filled to the fucking brim. I'm gonna need to clear out space for a third shelf.
Now I'm like zooming in, looking at your background. Is that Catwoman always been there?
No. I put Catwoman there maybe or that way. I put Catwoman there maybe like a month ago.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't notice. Like, because I don't have my
But
camera
yeah.
on, I can like zoom in. Like, if my camera was on right now, you would just see my forehead.
E-
Kind of look at it close.
That's all we're gonna see. It's like the cat meme where it's like the cat
Yeah.
looking over the camera, and it's like all you see is the two eyes and the ears. But yeah,
Yes.
that's my Hush Catwoman figure, which is I don't take a lot of my like
Oh,
comic
I love
book
it.
figures out of like storage or like I don't move them around a lot, so where they are is generally where they stay. But I've been reading Absolute Batman and I've been getting into the Absolute series, and so I was like, you know what? I might as well take out some of my favorite like DC figures and whatnot.
And you did summon Jay. All you had to do was talk about that picture, and he's back. He likes Legos
PTSD
and waffles.
flashbacks. He it's like his spider sense is tingling. He knows that someone is talking about that fucking picture and he logically deduces that it's me. I love Legos and waffles. Interesting.
Well, you know what? I mean, that sounds like a good day. Putting together a Lego set, eating some waffles. You just gotta be
I
careful not to get
prefer
syrup on it.
I prefer pancakes over
Pancakes are good.
waffles. Cause like
Pancakes are really good. Yeah, I
I
like them
prefer
both.
the fluffier texture and where it's kind of like if you take a piece of bread and you squish it. That's how I feel every time I eat waffles. Like they're good and waffles are yummy, but also why would I want like a flattened version of like a pancake? I don't. So I just want the pancake. But ultimately, it is true. I would always choose a toaster strudel. Toaster strudels are my fucking ride or die. I would trade every breakfast food imaginable for a toaster strudel, and I'd honestly probably trade like 75% of desserts for a toaster strudel.
I love how Jake comes in, and now we're like talking about breakfast foods. Okay, but the serious question is, what is your favorite toaster strudel? I like cherry or strawberry.
Ugh, you are a degenerate.
Which one do you like?
That is disgusting. Artificial cherry. What am I fucking 8 years old with the cold and flu medicine? Oh god, that's not okay. The only thing that is worse than like I feel that would be like a grape toaster strudel. Grape
Oh, no, no, no. Why'd you even
flavoring is
say that?
disgusting. Because it's disgusting. But my favorite toaster strudels are blueberry and cinnamon.
I don't think I've ever had cinnamon.
Oh,
I'll
it's
have to try
good. They're
that.
good. Yeah. Blueberry. I'm very picky when it comes to blueberry and like artificial blueberry because sometimes it just tastes so gross and kind of weird. because I feel like it gets really, really sour, and like naturally sour blueberries are good, but fake, if I'm gonna eat something that's artificial and fake, you bet your bottom dollar it's gonna have 50 grams of sugar in it. So,
I mean, that's the only way to go. We are American. We like sugar.
hell yeah, brother, we fry Twinkies here.
We do.
We
And
really
Oreos.
are weird. Like I love America. God bless America, land of the free. But what the fuck are we doing? We fry Twinkies and Oreos? Like no wonder we have some serious health problems here. Deep fried Snickers? I've never had that.
I have.
Is it
I tried
good?
it. Not really. I love Snickers, and it was like, I don't know. I was at like a fair, where they have all that deep fried
Yeah.
stuff, and I tried like a bite of it. And I was like,
She was
no
going down
thanks.
diabetes alley.
Yeah. So then I had to drag myself out of there. My one leg wouldn't lift after one
Yeah,
bite.
I can't imagine that. Like, I don't know. I feel like Snickers are way better if they're like frozen or they're cold or like the ice cream
Oh, the
versions
ice
of
cream's good.
them. So, like, imagining them being like hot and weak, like, ugh, I
Weird. Yeah.
just, that's not for me personally. But yeah. Anyway, off the food topic, or we're gonna be here literally forever.
Yeah.
Retro, thank you for the 10. What I meant by saying it's going to be Captain Marvel 2.0 is mostly based on between pushing, oh, okay, I see, more modern feminist messages along with attacking comic book fans for not accepting the BS. I understand. Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. This definitely is that. And even if like the movie was decent and for some reason Supergirl it's not like a 0 out of 10 film. She has now made it controversial, content aside. And so sometimes people will react negatively to an initial teaser or trailer, but then it comes out and it's really good. Like He-Man. I think that's a perfect example. I, like many other people, was pretty skeptical. I thought, oh, this is probably going to be really bad. It's probably not going to be that fun or good, but it came out and I watched it and I was actually very impressed. I thought that it was very special and very fun. But if they had came out and attacked people, right? I wouldn't be sitting here and saying, "Oh, it's like a movie I highly recommend people see," just because it's like it's just fun even if it has, some slight changes and maybe it's not the most high quality like He-Man movie that fans could have asked for or like the most accurate to the source material. But I can sit here and say that, yeah, I'd recommend you go and see it in theaters because it's good. Though with Supergirl, even if it is good, there's no way I would say, like, hey, don't feel bad about spending money to go and see it and buying a ticket because she's made some really shitty remarks. So,
Yeah.
I think you cut out. Uh oh. Uh oh, she stopped talking. Chad, I think she died. We heard yeah, and that was it. Um, well, rest in peace, Wicked. You will be missed. Everybody, I am selling tickets to the funeral. Oh, I think she's back. I heard you breathing.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I got taken away
Sorry.
for a minute.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't
God,
know.
I hope she's talking right now because it cut out.
You said yeah, and then I was like, well, yeah, Wicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, but anyway, she's back. We didn't lose her for good. It's all going to be okay. Let's not
Well,
blame
okay.
all of this on Alcock. It was going to flop anyway. I don't think that it's all on her. I would agree. I just think that she's not making it better for herself. That's for certain. But yeah, let's talk
No.
about layoffs, I guess, because there's been so many happening in the video game industry today. My God, maybe I'm gonna be laid off next. Maybe YouTube's just gonna kick me to the curb. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I hope not, but the past 24 hours has been brutal. We have heard that Ubisoft has seemingly laid off hundreds of developers. Xbox now is planning a major reset, and A lot of companies are going through these major resets because when the pandemic happened and everyone was working from home, they were hiring people in droves. I feel like their employee numbers got away from them, plus because people were at home and there were even less games releasing around that time. People were, buying some games and then they'd blow up, like Animal Crossing. Perfect example. I think Animal Crossing has a lot of appeal and it appeals to normies, but man, that sold crazy. And these companies thought that they were untouchable. And now that, reality has set back in, they have either banked on games that people haven't asked for, or they have definitely pushed activism and pushed narratives with their products, and gamers have rejected that. Things are not looking particularly well for them. Profits are down. They have had to go through major company resets, whether that is canceling games, firing people, and now Xbox is planning a major reset at the company going forward as the business falls under strain. Excluding Activision, Xbox has lost roughly $500 million in revenue per year over the past 5 years. Will end the fiscal year at minus 3% profitability down year over year, or negative 3% profitability down year over year. Prices for console storage components will be 5 times what they were last fall. And obviously, when it comes to the tech and the hardware, we are definitely seeing a lot of prices go up, whether that is RAM or SSDs and storage, and that's why we're seeing these major price hikes. I mean, look at the Steam Deck going up by $300,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
nuts.
absolutely, yeah, that's wild to
I'm
me.
so glad I have. I don't know how often I'm going to use it, but I'm just glad I have one because I would definitely not even think about it at that price.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I never had got one because I wouldn't get a lot of use out of it, and I sure as hell wouldn't spend money on one now. That's for certain. But we know that Xbox has been impacted more greatly than many of their peers due to choices made in the past 5 years. Xbox is overextended after expanding the amount of first party studios. They need to reassess the balance in investment priorities for the next 5 years. And this is just what happens when you're making games nobody wants. Obviously, it's like with Sony, we've seen the Concords, we've seen across the industry in general, like with High Guard, we've seen it happening with Xbox games like Outer Worlds 2 underperforming. We're not going to get an Outer Worlds 3, Avowed, Pillars of Eternity universe, which that should have been an easy win, and they were hoping to bank on that with like a lighter and brighter and clearly more gay, like Skyrim competitor almost. There's nothing that that game does that can compete with Skyrim, in my opinion. Then you have games like Halo being taken and changed. You have now them sort of panicking and trying to figure out ways to make money again, which obviously they're a company, right? I don't blame them for that. But after hearing how much money they have been losing and how many people they actually have working there, like, it's a no-brainer that they had asked Phil Spencer to retire, right? I definitely am somebody who believes that they wanted big changes and they wanted them quickly, which is why they also didn't go for Sarah Bond, and she ended up leaving around the same time as Phil Spencer. And they brought somebody in who I guess has half a brain. I think that Asha Sharma is just doing what the higher ups are telling her to do. And I don't think that any of these moves are like just her decision. I think that they put her into this leadership position and they had a game plan that they were going with. But, right, I think that the sort of pace that this has been executed is fine. It's all happened pretty quickly. If this will save them, I don't know. They have a lot of garbage that they're still banking on going forward, like Fable, for example. But oof, I mean, Xbox is struggling. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Asha, like when she first came out, we're like, we all kind of focused on like that silly like, tweets where she's like, "Hello, fellow gamers," like that vibe that she was giving off, right?
Yeah.
Um,
This is
but
my
so far it doesn't
Xbox
seem.
Live account, and here is my gamer
Yeah.
score, guys. I played 72 games in the past fucking 12 hours. Yeah.
But I think like I agree with you. She definitely has people probably helping her, but she also could have been like, maybe they're like, oh, she might be a little bit easier to like control, so let's have her be the CEO. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Whoever's helping her with the decision so far, it could be worse.
I mean, it could be, but my problem, right, is like how much worse could things really be going? I guess maybe like they aren't putting out any games and they're not changing things, but the problem, right, is that development times are so long that it's gonna take years before all of this garbage is pumped out, before we actually start to really see her sort of flourish and I guess we'll say for argument's sake, come into her own and like actually grow into the role of CEO. And so like all of this isn't just her, but I also think that she hasn't done anything massively controversial. I think that mass layoffs is the most controversial, but as I always say, sorry, but when you suck at your job, you don't deserve to have that job. Or when there are too many people working somewhere, it's clearly a no brainer that there are going to be people that get fired. Not that I revel in the fact that people are losing their jobs, but my God, you can't expect them to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of people to sit on their asses and do nothing. And when their games are failing, right, you can't expect these studios to keep getting hundreds of millions of dollars. Like we're probably not going to get another Fable game anytime soon. I don't think that this Fable game's going to make money. They're cutting their losses and not making an Avowed 2 or an Outer Worlds 3. I mean, even look at what's happening right now with, let's say, Sony. They aren't sure what they're doing next after Marathon, but there's no shot that Bungie's going to be given hundreds of millions of dollars to make another game with the performance of Marathon.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Like these people aren't putting out games, they're not doing stuff, so it's time to get rid of. You got to clean house at some point. Start making changes. It would be nice to see because I didn't grow up like really into Xbox, but I know a lot of people loved it, especially with Halo and all that, right? Like that was the popular thing on Xbox. But they have definitely fallen very far since those days, and I don't want to see them fail, right? It'd be cool to see them come back, but as a PC gamer, pretty much exclusively, and then just like switch sometimes. I don't know. It doesn't affect me, I guess we'll say. But you're
I
right. Like
mean,
they're
yeah.
not doing anything. So okay, go not do something somewhere else. Not giving you hundreds and thousands of dollars to just do nothing.
I have a question for you, Wicked. So,
Mhm.
I have an Xbox Series X, and I've played Xbox for many, many years, and I used to love the 360. Was the best Xbox console in my opinion. I've turned my Xbox Series X on, I think, twice in the span of 12 months, and that was to update it and not play video games on it. I haven't bought any Xbox or games for the Xbox console in over a year. Do you think I'm a fake gamer now? Do you think I could technically still be considered part of the
Well,
Xbox audience? Because I buy their games on PC. That shit is a paperweight now for
yeah,
me.
it's a paperweight.
It
Oh
really
no, not
is.
paperweights. Have you been watching Marvel again?
Ah,
But
classic.
I no, you're still buying their stuff. So you, but the thing is, you play good and bad games. Like you suffer to review it for people, right? So as much as the internet wants to say that you're not a gamer, never played a game in your life, um,
I'm a
I
fraud.
think that your opinion, even though you don't play on the Xbox, is still extremely valid, and you're still done better than me because I don't think I've ever actually played a game on Xbox. I think I played
Yeah.
Minecraft with my niece and nephew once, like a long time ago when they were into it, and that's like I think that's it. I seriously think that's it. I've never done Xbox games.
I have an Xbox Elite controller, and I do actually use that a lot on my PC. So that counts for something.
Yeah, that can count. I used to use my Sea of Thieves one. That one was so pretty and so nice, and I wish I would have gotten more than one because I really did wear that thing out on PC. Like,
Oof.
yeah,
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Xbox sucks. And, well, I think a lot of these companies kind of suck. But I would say that
true.
Xbox has definitely gotten pretty bad more recently.
Yeah,
Greenlighting things like Avowed and Fable. And so I'm curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see what happens with Asha and how she addresses some of these like content problems going forward. But it's going to be years before they actually get out content that is being greenlit now. I'm curious though if we are going to see a large amount of projects canceled, if we are going to see them do what Ubisoft did, which was just slash a bunch of games that I guess they wanted to cut their losses on, like the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. So,
yeah, I do. We're gonna see a couple cuts. Like, I feel like that's just a given.
yeah, definitely. But it is what it is. And Xbox isn't the only company that's going through these big layoffs because Ubisoft also had announced their sixth round of layoffs today. And
Oof.
I mean, we are talking hundreds of people. So we have dozens of employees laid off at Ubisoft's San Francisco offices. Now, they were not working on like dedicated games, but they were more of like a support studio. San Francisco's development studio had already closed in late 2024, but it remained open to Ubisoft employees in areas such as IT, marketing, and so on. We know that Barcelona was hit with mass layoffs, and now they're going to be focusing on Rainbow Six. In an internal email sent to Ubisoft employees, it was said that 51 people will be affected by the change and that Ubisoft Barcelona will now focus on Rainbow Six projects only. We have heard that Winnipeg was closed and dozens were laid off. I don't see specifically what they were doing, but like a team was affected for Ubisoft Montreal. And I mean, we had just heard like a month and a half ago that they were laying off 1,200 people. And so, sixth major wave of layoffs. They've canceled over the past year, like canceled slash delayed like over a dozen games. And it's looking pretty rough for them right now.
A dozen games. Oof. Yeah. And you said this is the sixth wave, so they probably laid off thousands by now.
Yeah.
That is, well, probably like a lot. Yeah, way more than thousands. Oof. Well, I mean, their track record has not been great lately. Like, a lot of people, if it's Ubisoft, they're not going to buy it or they want nothing to do with it. So I'm not surprised by this at all. Um, oof. But more than a
Yeah.
dozen games, that's rough.
And what is so like hilarious about this situation is that they cannot get away from themselves. So every time they do something that people like, they do 10 other things that people hate. And right now, they are getting raked across the coals for a game that was announced at Summer Games Fest. I believe it was the opening event. It's called Amsterdam 1666. And I don't know if you saw that trailer, but it looks exactly so. Amsterdam 6066 is being made by people that worked on OG Assassin's Creed, and this game is like a copy and paste of everything that we have heard that Assassin's Creed Hex is going to be. So people have speculated that Ubisoft straight up stole this idea for Hex.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof. Well,
Like
that's not going to be a good look.
while I was watching the trailer, because I guess I had only one ear open or in one ear out the other. They said that it was from the creators of Assassin's Creed, and so I was like, oh shit, this is Hex. I thought it was Hex that I was watching. And I'm like, I thought they moved away from the more witchy magic, and we have the black cats here, and oh my god, she's slinging people around with her spells. No, it's a completely different game, but it's what we've heard Hex is gonna be. These are not the games that people want.
No, not from Ubisoft. Uh, I wonder what they're gonna do. Do you think someone's gonna like have to buy out the company at some point? Like,
Well,
was there
that's
already
the
talks about that?
yeah, so the what they're trying to do right now to like save themselves is the deal with Tencent. So they did the creative house venture with Tencent called Vantage Studios, and so their biggest IP like what is it? Like Tom Clancy, you have Assassin's Creed, you have some of these bigger names that now have new leadership at this new creative studio or creative house. And that's supposed to be a, I don't know, saving move for them. Like they think it's going to be a Hail Mary for them. I don't see how that could happen. Now, maybe with the different leadership and maybe with having new eyes on it and different people that are overseeing these IP, they can turn things around. I don't know how that's still going to happen though, because it's like you get Assassin's Creed Shadows, doesn't resonate with people. You have Assassin's Creed Hex, isn't resonating with people yet, and I don't think that it's going to. And so now they have this deal with Tencent. They are trying to seemingly get things in order with these IP, but they've already done so much damage now to, again, let's say for argument's sake, Assassin's Creed, that it's like, my God. Um, oof, like
I know.
how could they get out of this? It really looks like they are in a state of disaster that they can't get themselves out of.
Yeah, messing up Assassin's Creed, that was such a beloved franchise. Like people still talk about Black Flag. I know they're re-releasing it, whatever the heck it is that they're doing with that, but that's Assassin's Creed had good games. I don't know what they were thinking with that last one. I think the only gameplay I watched was a little bit of X-ray play. You played it, right?
Which
The
game?
Shadow, was the Shadow one.
I did play Assassin's Creed Shadows. It wasn't the worst game I've ever played, but it wasn't a good game either. Like I if it was different characters and like a slightly different story, I think maybe it would have I think in general it would have gone over much better, but Ubisoft really kicked themselves in the face with that game because of their like claims of historical accuracy. Ugh. I
Sorry, I forgot I was muted again. I
You're
just,
fine, you're fine.
I just want to make sure it's like background noise. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. I guess it looked like an Assassin's Creed game, but as someone who hasn't played all of them, Black Flag, yes, it was missing something. Like there was like some heart missing from it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's depressing. Um, but hey, maybe in theory they'll cut their numbers and they'll hyper focus on the games that people want. I don't think that one game could save Ubisoft. I know some people have speculated, oh my God, maybe the Black Flag Resync game will save them. One game when they're losing billions of dollars just isn't going to be enough. But I'm willing to see what they're gonna do. There's nothing else that they could do at this point though besides cancel games and fire people. They've lost 95% of their value in the last 8 freaking years. Like they are scraping by at this point. So, hey, it it is what it is. And really quickly guys, I did just put a poll on the stream as we're wrapping up. I'll pay attention to that and keep a close eye on that. But Wicked and I have talked maybe now that our schedules are slightly changing about potentially starting the show earlier going forward. So we wanted to kind of ask you guys what you thought. We haven't like made any decisions. We may in the future, do some at like a different time if you guys pick the different time, and then we can go from there. But yes, I did put up the poll in chat just to gauge reaction.
Yes. Yeah, because we were talking about like she said, schedules changed, and I know some of you it's like late for you, so we're like, oh, maybe if we start earlier, some of you won't have to like lose sleep or miss the show, So let us know what
Yeah.
you think.
Yes, for sure. Oh, and I saw it corrected in chat. I must have misspoke. Ubisoft is losing billions. I think I might have accidentally said millions there. It's not
Whoopsie.
millions, it's billions.
It's a
My
lot
my
more.
my bad. My bad. But yeah, I mean, just look at the games that they've released over the past couple of years that they've lost billions on. Skull and Bones, X Defiant, Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows, canceling games like Sands of Time remake, and Splinter Cell is in development hell, and I'm sure Assassin's Creed Hex is gonna be a absolute flop for them. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is, and it is not good. That's for sure. But yeah, I'll leave the poll up, guys. For the rest of the stream, we've only got a couple minutes left, really, but we have been curious about that. It's looking like 7 right now, which is usually when I start my game stream. So it kind of does make sense that
Yeah.
you guys are generally like used to a 7 p.m.
Yeah,
time
that's
slot.
Vara time. And like if we miss the show and you game, it's usually 7. So that's
Yeah.
why I said that. I'm like, oh, I feel like people might like 7 because that's your time. That's when you start.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true. Also, Shane says Star Wars Outlaws was great. Sorry, I meant shit. You had me in the first half, not gonna lie. I was just gonna say, are you fucking kidding me? Is this your first video game ever, Shane? Oh my gosh, don't do that. You're gonna rage, baby. I'm gonna go on a rant for a half an hour about how trash that game was. It was so broken, I couldn't even finish the freaking game. In the main quest line, it was broken and I couldn't even complete the game. That pissed me off so bad. I've never gone back. I haven't even checked to see if it's fixed because you know what? Fuck that stupid game. You guys scammed me out of my 70 goddamn dollars. Okay?
It must have been that bad.
I
You
saw
finished the
all
really
I
bad
needed to
games.
see. Oof. But yeah, it is what it is. Sensei, thank you for the 5. They're smoking dingling if they think I'm buying another system. I don't care if Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out. It'll be on PC eventually. Stupid edit. I I I get that, we're all going to have like our favorite series, and there are some people out there who will buy a console for one game like Ocarina, right? There's people that don't own the Switch 2 that have said, "Oh my gosh, I'd buy a Switch 2 for the Ocarina remake." That's I feel like though that yeah, if you are going to make your game an exclusive, it is going to make it so much harder to get all the potential people that are interested in it actually buying it, because there's no shot that most people are going to buy a PS5 for one game or Switch 2 for one game. Now, I think that the Nintendo like mindset is kind of different because their games don't go to other platforms. You can only find Mario and Zelda and these things on Nintendo consoles. But yeah, for something like Kingdom Hearts 4, for example, uh I wouldn't buy a console for that. And I feel like most people wouldn't either. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Um
wouldn't. Not for one game.
yeah, there's very few games though that I feel like, "Oh my god, I would buy a console specifically for that." Like if an Elden Ring 2 came out, because like Elden Ring's one of my favorite games of all time, I would. But that's like if I wasn't a content creator and I didn't actually need these systems and I was like a normal individual, like maybe. But how many games are like that? Like almost none. So yeah, very few and far
Normal.
between. That is for sure. Yeah, the rest
Hmm.
of you aren't normal. I'm not normal. I'm special. My mom says I'm special. But
That's all that matters.
that's the way it goes. And I guess for the final topic of the evening, really, really quickly, I want to get Wicked's thoughts on Mom of War. So the internet has
Oh
been
boy.
ablaze talking about God of War Lao Fei. And of course, I think that there are plenty of people out there who hold this opinion, even though the media wants you to think that you're a bigot for having this take. I think that most normal people expect the God of War to be in the God of War game. And when he is not the main character, yeah, that is going to not sit well with everybody. I think that Faye is an interesting character. I do think that she, is a warrior in her own right, but I also don't want to play as her 24/7. I think that it is such a bad decision to not have Kratos being the lead character. And even if Atreus was the main character, that would also be a controversial choice because he's not the god of war that we all know and that we all love. And he's not this character that brought us into this series. And so, by making Faye the lead playable character and the way that the media has marketed this as like Kratos is out and Faye is in and Kratos' wife is the new star, this isn't going to make women buy this game. It's not going to interest TikTok girlies in this series. Like, this isn't going to be some like wide angle of appeal for people who don't care about God of War already. And so you'd think that they'd want to make, again, like we always talk about, they'd want to make the existing fan base happy, but they just continue to give us the finger.
Yeah, I think this is a bad idea. If they wanted to do something like make some side quests with her, like make her a playable character in his game, I don't think anybody would say anything. Now, they might comment on the fact that they dimmed down Deborah a bit, right? Because she's a gorgeous actress and they didn't quite show that here.
Right.
But I, I think making a God of War game and saying Kratos is out and she's in, that's not going to sit well with anybody who's a fan of the franchise because they want Kratos when they're playing God of War. So yeah, make her a playable character, sure. Side quests with her, sure, whatever. I don't think anybody would bat an eye at that. But trying to have her replace him, that's not going over well.
Right. And like I like the general concept of the, afterlife with all of these different gods and mythological creatures and mythological figures. That sounds like a cool idea, but to me, I think that Robotnik just said it perfectly. It seems like a DLC. It's the way that I felt about the Spider-Man
Absolutely.
Miles Morales game. That shit was like a big DLC tack on. And if it was a DLC, I think that the response would be very different because the angle wouldn't be Kratos is getting replaced. It would be, hey, here is another little side experience for people that are interested in getting a little bit more information about Faye or want to play a little bit more as we make the next mainline entry. This is not some like little side entry that's a lower budget game. This is the main game for the next several years. And so that is, I mean, that of course a lot of people are going to have an issue with that. But we're painted as being ists and phobes for daring to criticize this decision because I don't want to play as a like a middle-aged woman who just had died overshadowing her husband with different combat, and I don't want to have a talking cube ribbon that's name is Frank as my companion.
Frank.
That
I'm
is so
sorry.
bad. His name is literally fucking Frank. And if he was like a silent, I could actually see this being much more funny if the cube was silent.
Yes.
But I mean, he's not. He talks. He yips and he fucking yaps. And we see this happen all the time. And it's always heartbreaking when you see your favorite male character being replaced by in this case, a woman, and it is his wife, sure. And it's not like she's a brand new character that we never knew anything about, but she wasn't a playable character. She haunted the narrative of the previous games, which was good and which was fine, but these people like Alana Pierce who wrote this, they hate men and they want to continue to take away experiences for men. They don't want men to enjoy their hobby. They don't want men to enjoy these characters that they have loved for, in some cases, decades. And they want to continue to take and destroy what they do not understand. They don't understand why they can't. Well, I guess that's not true. It's not that they don't understand why this is controversial, because they do understand, but they continue to do it, which is just so fucking heartbreaking. There's stories that are written by feminists for the video game journalists, for the very small group of wokies that follow them, and the screaming leftists on social media. And sure, there are going to be God of War fans that are going to buy this because this is the next game that we're going to be getting for the next several years. It's probably going to be way past 2030 before we get another Kratos themed and focused God of War title. But it's just another depressing and infuriating example of these feminists and really just these activists wanting to destroy what they do not specifically approve of or what they want to take offense to. So,
Yep,
yeah.
I agree. Like, just stay in your lane. If you don't like how something is done, then just make something for yourself. I don't know, make a new game. Don't take something that like this and try and like feminize it. It's just stupid, and that's why people gatekeep with games. I understand it more so even now why people do that, because they don't want you to change the stuff they like.
Right. And with this, they are going to be changing some of the lore and they're disregarding some of the lore. Obviously, we have this isn't just happening with God of War. It's happened with so many things and it's always so fucking depressing to see. But we've only gotten the 20-minute look at it. Who knows how long this is going to be, and truly the entire scale and scope of what they're altering and what they are changing and how they are now going to rewrite Faye and potentially even rewrite the timeline of what happens in God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. But yeah, people are criticizing it. It's not going particularly well. It is not a big fat win for them. Maybe they didn't expect it to be some smashing success, though, and maybe they didn't expect it to go over well, because at this point, we do see a lot of projects greenlit and a lot of projects that are made specifically to upset fans and specifically to alter entire series and destroy IPs and characters. But
It's just so like pathetic and a waste of energy. I feel like, why spend so much energy trying to ruin something just because someone you don't like, or a demographic, whatever, that you don't like enjoys it? That seems like such a waste of time.
yeah, well, they view it as, well, they can't see themselves in characters and they hate men, so they want to change it all and they want to completely alter it all. And it's like we talk about all the time. They could go and just make another game that has a character that is similar to Faye, but then they wouldn't be able to use the God of War name and they wouldn't be able to market it with God of War. And that's why we see so many things revived, and basically it is only the name of what previously existed. It's not the actual meat and potatoes of what existed. It's wildly different. But yeah, they want to tell all the fans, their idea of the story and what's wrong and how it's misogynist. I mean, it's really it's really infuriating to see that this is happening. And of course, they want every male character to ultimately be seen as either irrelevant or outdated, and they want you to believe that, oh my gosh, Kratos can't exist today because Kratos was a Oonga Boonga man, and well, Faye, she's a smart, strong, amazing woman, so he needs to sit down and he needs to sit in his corner and let the woman be on screen and let the woman be the playable character. So it's another
Yeah.
day that ends with a Y in the video game
Unfortunately,
industry.
yes.
So yeah, but guys, that's about to be the end of the stream. Really quickly, I'll read this last super chat and then we'll be getting out of here. Retromeister, thank you for the 10. Faye was created to eventually substitute Kratos with someone else in the later game. Devs intentionally made her look like a feminist soccer mom, like Star Wars. God of War's a man's brand, not a woman's. And yeah, women like Wicked and women like me who previously loved things like Star Wars or Star Trek or God of War loved it for what it was, not because they could change it and make it different. And by trying to alter it to appeal to more people or be different, all you're doing is losing out on money. But yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen with a lot of female characters. They will look very different uh, because they or look very different compared to the model or the actress. And hey, they say, oh, it's not intentional, and you guys are being dramatic. But there are plenty of men in video games like Cameron Monaghan in Star Wars, Fallen Order, and Jedi Survivor that look 100% accurate. But you're telling me suddenly you can't recreate actresses' faces in video games, and the women can't look accurate? Yeah, that's
I call
ridiculous.
BS on that one.
You what?
I call BS on that one.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it
we just
it
can't make it look realistic all of a sudden.
It is totally BS. They're intentionally uglifying these female characters, and they can claim that they're not, but we can see the truth clear as day. But yeah, Wicked, what are you going to be up to over the next couple of days? What's going on with you?
Well, I'll
That.
be back home. So I'll be gaming again. Saucy is always on Saturday. And then next week, just everything will be back to the regularly scheduled program, minus this show. I know, guys, I'm sorry. We have to miss next week because I have something going on. But then
Yes.
we'll be back to a regularly scheduled program and we'll review a couple things on the next
Hmm.
show on Vara's channel to make up for it. Schedule's
Yep.
just been a little wild lately.
Yeah, but that's okay. We all have things that we have to deal with in the real world. Very overrated place, in my opinion. And of course, I will be streaming more video games tomorrow. I believe I'm going back to Mina the Hollower. I've been really enjoying that. That's been really, really cute and fun. And then I think we'll be to playing that over the weekend as well. But yeah, guys, we will be back soon. We will be reviewing probably Spider Noir. We will be reviewing Scary Movie 6. I'm sure that we'll both see it by then. And
Yeah, for sure.
that's all she wrote. Thank you guys for being here the past
Good
few
night.
hours. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by and have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
Bye.